Do you have beautiful roses in your yard that are all of a sudden getting shoots that are changing color? Like this. This is a 2-inch bud with yellow center, and it is Dr. Huey. And Dr. Huey is a monster. Eventually, it will take over your rose bush, and it will change the main color of the flower to purple and yellow, or red and yellow, I guess. So I'm going to show you my front yard shortly here. Okay, here's my front yard, and I've got all kinds of color flowers, brilliant reds, pinks, different varieties, some purples, there's some peach colored ones, another set of pinks, different red. Got some English roses that are different style of bud. And now up here I've got more Dr. Hueys. Go farther down the road and I've got Dr. Huey, Dr. Huey, and Dr. Huey. Well, I didn't even realize what was happening here until on the corner rose bush, which is nowhere near the color of Dr. Huey, it's a pink and purple mixture, which is quite beautiful. And it started getting an offshoot that was dark purple. And I asked my wife what was going on, if they were crossbreeding or what was happening here. And she said that it's taken over several of the plants. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So she showed me these 3 in the front. And I did some research, and I'm going to tell you what I learned. So, we put all these roses in together about a decade ago, and it was to keep people off of our frontage because they were having parties and acting weird up here. So anyway, we bought a separate color and style rose bush from the same mail order nursery, put them all in. And here a decade later, they're all changing colors, and it's because Dr. Huey is a rootstock that many nurseries use to graft onto, because it is a strong rootstock, they graft the other roses onto it. So for short term, it's not a problem. You get it, you plant it, and you've got the enjoyment of multiple colors of roses. But after several years, you'll read things online. I'm going to call BS on it, because they'll say that if you've got a dying plant, then Dr. Huey, which is the stronger rootstock, will take over. I'll tell you straight up, we water these plants all the time. They didn't die. They've done quite well up here. And it just started taking over because they wanted to. And it's spreading. It's going to eventually become all purple up here, I believe. Because I've seen pictures of entire rose beds that look like city frontages that are nothing but purple, where Dr. Huey is taken over. So the story is these nurseries do it for their own convenience, because they know the hardy rootstock get to the customers and the plants tend to not die. So in the short term, they don't have to pay any refunds for dying plants. But for the long term, it's bad for the buyer, because this happens, and now you're left with a choice. Do you want to have all red and yellow 2-inch flowers that really have minimal smell to them? Or do you want to dig up all your roses and start over again? Well, if you haven't done a garden already, I would suggest that you get what's called own root roses. So own root are not grafted onto a Dr. Huey rootstock. Now there's another couple of commonly used graft rootstocks that they use, and I can't remember the names, but you can look them up if you want to, now that you understand the premise. But these own root roses, they may be a little more fragile when you plant them. You might have to take more care that they don't die. But in the long run, you won't have a whole garden full of red and yellow flowers that take over all your beautiful roses, and you won't have to dig them all up. It's quite depressing, unless you really like red and yellow flowers, I guess. In that case, you could probably just plant a bunch of bougainvilleas and have them front your whole place. But yeah, when I saw that these are taking over my beautiful flowers, I got bummed. So, oh, and then now I'm going to tell you what I've learned about keeping these at bay. So the plant that was in the corner, our first instinct is, okay, go over there and cut the trunk of the sucker that's growing on the plant. So we did. We took the sucker off, feeding it to our turtles, and they love it and everything. But the thing is, apparently that makes Dr. Huey stronger when you try to cut off the sucker stalk. They said that you actually have to scrape down into the plant, and if you're like our roses here in your garden and they've got multiple shoots that are thorny, that have, you know, not a lot of access to in the middle, you know, how are you going to get in there and scoop all those out? I mean, really the only alternative is to dig them up and start over, or leave them be. So, hope this was informative. I did not see anything on YouTube about roses changing color. Dr. Huey is the culprit. He's a monster, and I don't know. He's like the Grinch or something.